My name's Bob Barrett. I've been with the practice since 1992, I think. I'm a member of the patient participation group at the practice.
I've been here for about 5 years and I wanted to give back, so I joined the patient participation group, which is a volunteer role.
Historically, of course, it used to be the telephone, which, let's face it, it was the 8:15 rush in the morning. It was frustrating. Now, I personally use the NHS app, and I go through the app to the GP request section under the advice tab and fill out a triage form. It's quick, it's easy, the app pre-populates all your personal data, and personally my experience has been I get a very quick response from the surgery going that route.
So before I would sit on my mobile phone on dial repeat, and sometimes I could have 40 dials before I would get through, and most of the appointments would be gone and I'd be told to ring back the next day, which was quite frustrating because often I didn't need an appointment straight away. I wanted one for a few weeks' time for a long-term condition. And when the patient triage was launched earlier this year, I was able to fill an online form in, and within 24 hours I'd had a response which I was highly satisfied with. So it's been a game changer for me. It's transformed my access. I prefer it to sitting on a phone for half an hour redialing. So yeah, really, really good.
You can actually go to the Accurix website and see your post, so you can actually review it later. You can see that you've written the right things. You also get a communication from the surgery of your own choice. You can get a phone call or you can get a text. So I think it's become, to me, a game changer in terms of contacting GP surgery.
And I think we've seen a reduction in complaints on social media. We still get the odd one, but we've not had half of the same of we couldn't get through when we're hanging on the phone. That seems to have reduced dramatically. Well, as part of the patient participation group, we were asked to support the GP's launch of patient triage. So we were running NHS app workshops for all of the registered population. So we put on a slide presentation on how to use patient triage, which involved my hand being photographed on where to press. And so therefore I knew quite a lot about it because I'd obviously designed the slide deck to go with it. So yes, dead easy to use, and I think importantly, anybody can use it.
Well, there was quite a comprehensive briefing note put out by the practice. Running the NHS workshop, we also found out that there was a route in through that to get to the patient triage forms. And of course, regularly looking at the website, you can see on the website that one of the first things you see now is, do you want to contact your GP? So those are the typical routes. I would say don't be afraid to use it. It's a very easy system to fill in. You can actually fill in your words. If you're going through a phone, you're reliant upon somebody else interpreting what you're saying. If you fill the form in yourself, you can be specific. I burnt my arm on a kettle and it wasn't healing. So I went through the app, I filled the form in, I attached a photograph of the burn on my arm, and probably an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I got a response from the GP. He sent some antibiotics to my pharmacy and said, you know, let's review it in a week or so's time. If I'd been waiting on the phone, the burn would have gone bad way before anything had been done about it.
I've been able to help neighbours and friends with it, so you don't have to be registered with the practice to help somebody use this system, and I think that for me has been fantastic to give back to the local community, particularly my elderly relatives and neighbours. Don't hesitate to use it because it has been completely game changing for me, and those people I've shown how to use it have all said how fantastic the service has been. It's the stories that I hear about people who have put a request in that morning and then within an hour are being given an appointment appointment for the same day. And if you don't need a same day, they're sending you a link to make an appointment in 2 to 3 weeks' time, which is just fantastic in comparison to what we had before, which was waiting for weeks to get an appointment or couldn't get through. So I would say to people, just go for it, because it's been absolutely revelationary. It is the future, I'm sure.